Professor, you spoke about the fact that you rationalize your position as a gay by the fact that you compare your position with religion. The fact that religion is invisible. Nobody can test it scientifically. All right? Now my question is, have you considered the fact that heterosexuality, which is described as a sexual orientation, is accompanied by specific design in terms of biology, in terms of anatomy? Heterosexuality is the only orientation, if you want to use it as orientation, it is the only sexual orientation that is accompanied by a specific design. Male genitals, human sexuality, male, female genitals. Plus the fact that the muscles in the anus, they contract outwards, which specify that they were designed for excretion. The muscles in the vagina contract inwards, meaning that they were designed for receptivity. How do you explain that?
The way I explain that is human ingenuity. I had this question in India when I spoke at the University of Delhi. A student asked, he said, "This is unnatural." And I said, well, what about the lights on the ceiling? Are they unnatural? This microphone, the camera, the 747, etc.
That's not enough. That's not enough. Because you have to explain why is it that consistently in every human being the muscles contract outwards of the anus and the vagina contracts inwards.
Yeah.
It means that God designed the man, the woman for procreation.
Yeah.
Nothing more than that.
Sir, I think you would find that men who enjoy anal intercourse do it because it's pleasurable.
It's not true.
And if it weren't, they wouldn't do it.
Purpose first for pleasure.
Sorry?
Purpose. Because if you miss purpose, then pleasure takes
Yeah.
you anywhere.
So the purpose of human sexual activity on the vast majority of occasions is pleasure. If it were only for procreation, there would be very little sexual activity. And in fact, we now have the technology to abolish sexual activity. We could insist that donor insemination.
Excuse me.
How were you born, sir?
You've asked your question. It's been
Yes, but you took a whole hour and explained. What God says.
Excuse me.
It's first ontological.
We don't have time for several questions by a single person. We have a short period of time. So, and as Dr. Wilson said, we want some respect in the room. We have different views. We thank you for your questions. Maybe afterwards, Professor Wintemute can speak with you privately. But we need to continue with our debate and our discussion.
What I want to know is, do you consider that someone or a group of people who practice, let's say, bestiality or incest have a right to be seen as a religious minority who should not have to defend their right to exist?
I'm sorry, a person who says, I'm only sexually attracted to my brothers and sisters. So I don't think it's a relevant comparison.
You talked about Leviticus 20:13 and putting homosexuals and adulterers to death. The thing is, we don't have that anymore, right? We don't put sinners to death. There's grace and forgiveness in Jesus Christ. The problem is, everyone agrees that adultery and things like that, they're wrong, and even if they commit it, they agree that it is wrong, it is harmful to marriage, it is harmful to family. society, and they are not asking us to accept it. So how can you push as a human right something that is clearly unnatural? And you know, I am a Christian, right? And my duty is not only to uphold God's law myself, but to commend it to the secular society, because a departure from it is dangerous to society's well-being. We have Sodom and Gomorrah as an example. So Trinidad here is mostly a religious society. We're not going to condone something that God clearly says is wrong. So, and we're not, it's not hate speech, it's love.
I would point out that the death penalty existed in England and Wales almost the entire time from 1533 to 1861. So it disappeared relatively recently. One author has reported that in the early 1800s in London, more men were hanged for buggery than for murder. Okay, so people have been killed for this reason. As for, yes, unnatural God law, spread the words, please do, but just don't ask the criminal law to take your side of the debate.